Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Pocono Raceway in Long Pond, Pocono, Pennsylvania, as we are set for race number 2 of the CORE Xfinity Series, brought to you live by CRN. Carl Hamrick in the booth, going to be joined by Jimmy Covert here in a little bit, but we'll take some time here, take a look at the standings so far after race number 1, and pretty dominating performance last week by Alan Elwood to grab his first win already on the season, as he went on to lead 62 of the 80 laps. But I mean, there were 9 different drivers that led a lap due to some different strategies, some longer runs for some drivers, and certainly some guys really trying to stretch it out and just not being able to make it. But Alan Elwood is going to be your points leader after race number 1. A good showing by Mike Moultrie coming home in second. He'll be second in the points, and then Shane Therian battling back and kind of getting the hang of the track, finishing up there in third. They'll be your top 3 for the overall and the platinum gold division. In the silver, it is David Tilford by 1 point over Dawson Guzik, who, as mentioned, he's not going to be here tonight. So Tyler Bramble is going to be certainly looking to gain a little bit of ground on David Tilford. And then in the bronze division, Matt Crockett 1 point up on Dan Phelps and 12 up on John Crane. As we said last week, it was a very good race at Nashville Super Speedway, and a tough little track there, as we mentioned probably multiple times. It's it's only 1.5 miles, or a little shy of 1.5 miles, but it being concrete makes it certainly a little difficult. But we go from a tough tri-oval to the tricky triangle here at Pocono, and this one is certainly a favorite of mine. I know it's a favorite of my co-host Jimmy's once he gets in here. But 3 distinct corners here on the track, 2.5 miles. It's the size of a super speedway, but it's not just flat out racing. You're gonna see the guys lifting, maybe braking, and maybe even using some dropping down in gears as well through some of these corners. Turn 1, certainly one of the slowest corners on the track. The tunnel turn out there in turn 2, and then turn 3, you're going to be at least letting off and really need to work on saving those tires as much as possible, because this track can certainly eat them up. But we've got a good size crowd out here tonight. Looks like 23 drivers ready to go. A couple little mix-ups here, a couple things different to show you. First off, we got a few drivers that have their numbers incorrect here in the session here tonight, and that is my fault. That is my apologies. But the 3 here tonight is going to be driven by Craig Jancic. Normally in the 3, Shane Therian is going to be in the 10 here tonight, and then normally in the 10, Matt Crockett is going to be actually in the number 22. So just a little bit of a mix-up there. But the other thing that we do have is the divisions, and we'll take a look, and I'll show you the standings here real quick, and you'll see the numbers are color-coded to the divisions that they're in. The gold numbers, the yellow numbers that you see, those are the guys in the gold division. You got the silver, you got the bronze, and then the red numbers are the rookies that have yet to be determined for which division they're going to be in. But we are all done with qualifying. As you can see, we'll take a look at the qualifying results. And once again, back-to-back here, Alan Elwood taking the top spot, but Craig Jancic not too far behind, only 88 hundredths of a second behind him in second. Mike Moultrie, Nico Garcia, Daniel Wiles, your top 5. Then you got Tyler Bramble, Diego Remy, Bryce Rayner, Tyler Kokeko, Josh Van Weston, your top 10. David Tilford, AJ Connors, Matt Crockett, Blake Bynum, and Dan Phelps going to round out your top 15. And then rounding out your field is going to be John Williams Sr., John Crane, Joseph Thomas, Casey Phelps, Tony Bramble, Shane Therian not getting any time here tonight, Jeremy Ganey not getting any time, and then Cody Jacobs, all 3 not getting any time, starting 21st through 23rd. So we'll see them trying to make their way through the field, but these drivers are already out there on the track, pacing, getting ready to fire this thing off. It's going to be a good one here tonight. 50 laps on tap, and I mean, again, it's a different type of track here, and it's one of those where it's flat enough that there's some people that just flat out don't like it, and it's one of the tracks that I like. It's I guess you can consider it my home track here, as the closest one to me, but it's certainly a track because of its flatness, because of its kind of tricky nuances. Some people don't like it, and some people even look at it as almost a almost a road course shaped like an oval. So we'll see how these drivers tackle it. It was certainly a good race last season that ended up crowning our champion, but it is race number 2 here this season as we see the drivers going through the tunnel turn on the backstretch. You can go too wide through all these corners, but typically the inside line is where you're going to want to be. You can get up there in those marbles in turn 2 for sure, and it can wash up real quick, real easy exiting that corner. But the drivers are getting ready to exit turn number 3. There is no turn number 4, as you'll see on the wall, but turn number 4, as we will head off onto the front stretch. It'll be in the hands of Barney to get this thing underway.
Green.
And we are racing at Pocono Raceway. Good spreading out. We're going to head off into turn number 1. So far, a good start. It can certainly be a little tricky on that first lap. Getting up to speed, getting those tires up to speed. See some guys maybe getting a little close to that wall on exit. Very fast dive down into turn number 2 here. Great start by the field. It is Alan Elwood that is going to be leading the first lap and already gapping the field a little bit here. Craig Jancic, Mike Moultrie, Nico Garcia, and Daniel Wiles, your top 5 remaining, your top 5 here on the start. Bryce Rayner up 2 spots as he was able to overtake Tyler Bramble and Diego Remy. Already up 5 spots is Shane Therian. Again, that did not put a time in, or at least couldn't get a lap in one way or another, but new paint scheme on the 3 machine, which is a 3 on the car, which it shouldn't be. That is his number for the series, but as you see on the timing and scoring towers, it's shown as that number 10 on there, so hopefully it's not too confusing for everybody out there, but already up 6 spots now as he makes the pass on Blake Bynum. Seeing Jeremy Guinea in pit lane. I don't see what exactly happened here to the 45. I don't see any kind of issues here, so I'm not sure if it's computer issues or what the case is, but good start here by all the drivers, as for the most part they are single file, except we have a battle brewing here at the front as Moultrie to the inside and we're looking to try and make a pass on the 97 of Jancic, but Jancic going to hold tough on the outside through turn number 2 as Nico Garcia now looking to the inside to try and make a pass for a third. Oh, big moment there for the 84. Certainly got it into the wall off the corner. You see it really pop off the wall. Hopefully it hasn't done any kind of structural damage. You definitely need to be able to run some high speeds, especially on this front straight and even on the Long Pond straight, the straightaway that they're heading onto right now. So you got to keep the fenders on that car, but especially you got to make sure that thing is getting through these corners correctly. That would look like a pretty good impact, but it seems like he's got it back under control here. Loses spot to Nico Garcia, but it is Alan Elwood that is leading this field out front. Battle back here is Josh Van Westen on the inside here, and looking for a second there, maybe go 3 wide, was David Topher, but he's going to fall back in line now, get to the inside of Tyler Kokeko, heading off of turn number 3 and onto the front stretch. But he's got nobody to draft. He's going to have to fall back in that line and tuck in here, at least to make a run down at turn number 1. You see the field, though, pretty much all single file and just a pass here and there right now. Maybe the driver just kind of settling in the early stages here, only on lap number 5 of 50. Last week, 80 laps, only 1 caution, and it was a true testament to the skill of these drivers out here in the series. And really got all kinds of skills in the series. I mean, it's what makes the divisions here so fun, so popular to these drivers. It allows them to battle amongst their peers and not have to feel like they have to go out there and win to have a chance at scoring some points. Maybe a top 10 is enough to gain points on their respective championship leader. It's a good battle there as the 193 at Connors just about using up the 12 of David Toford in turn number 3, but now he's stuck on that inside, not getting any help. Therian pushing Toford down the front stretch. But as I mentioned, the skill difference, I mean, if you're looking just straight at CORE or at iRacing, you got guys up there in the 6,000 range all the way down to the guys in triple digits. So certainly a wide range of talent and skill level. You got 3 of them right here battling with a good battle between Tilford, Connors, and Therian as they battle for 11th, 12th, and 13th just outside the top 10 here. But another battle up front as Moultrie has certainly righted the ship and maybe using up the ship there of Nico Garcia coming off of the corner, trying to get 3rd place back. He's got Daniel Wiles, his teammate, right behind him, trying to push him down that front stretch and get him into an opportunity to get back up into that podium spot. All the drivers chasing the 5. Once again, Alan Elwood stretching out to about a 1 1/4 lead out front. Connors losing some ground, losing some time, and now in a battle with the former number 10, at least typically the number 10 in Matt Crockett, but he looks to the inside in the 22 here tonight, trying to pick up 12th place, or actually 13th place from AJ Connors. Really starting to check out. He is outside of drafting range from the rest of the field. I mean, normally, guys, I may question on how much tires they're using up here, how much tires they're saving, how much what they got in the bank yet, but we've seen this so much from Alan Elwood getting out there to the lead and really, really tough to compete with once he has that lead. And doing a fantastic job right now out front by 1.6 seconds. Ray Jancic in that second, but the battle waging on once again, and big moment there. It looks like maybe the 51 got into the wall there a little bit. Try and take a look back and see what happened as Nico Garcia falling back, losing several spots coming off the corner. See, this is going through turn number 3. The 84, oh man, horrible net code. I'll take a look at it one more time in slow-mo, and I don't think there was any contact there between the 84 and 51, but the 51 just shot off the side. And you'll see it right here. Still plenty of gap in between the cars, and just right there, it's almost like there was a hard impact between the 84 and the 51, which sends the 51 hard into the outside wall. You see some major damage on the outside of that car. The 48 of Wiles, evasive maneuvers and a great maneuver there to get around by. And you see Rayner doing the same thing, maybe clipping the 51 a little bit on the way by, but that was some pretty hard impact there for the 51, and man, just, I mean, not much you can do. I mean, that was just netcode at its finest. Lead now at 2.2 seconds for Alan Elwood as he is checking out, and man, I mean, This is the biggest lead I think we've seen this early at a race at Pocono in a while. Typically, a leader can stretch out there a little bit, but not by this much this quick. I mean, he has certainly got a handle for this track. The drafting usually keeps drivers close to each other, but it's not the case here tonight. It looks like John Crane entering pit lane. And we'll see if this is... Looks like it might be a scheduled pit stop. Maybe a little bit early here. Hopefully there's no issues here with the 11 or its driver, but first pit stop may be underway right now for the 11. As we are only on lap number 11 here, so if that is the first pit stop, we could be looking at least a 2 pit stop race for these drivers, and possibly more. It seems like it's pretty early there for the 11, so maybe he had some issues. I don't see anything that popped up, you know, in my issues here from SDK, but looks like Jeremy Gainey, for some reason, lost connection, and that's why 45 is not out here in the field. So unfortunately, he's going to be saddled with the last place 23rd here tonight. Tyler Bramble looking to make a move on the hurt and damaged number 51 on Nico Garcia. Garcia certainly needs that first pit stop to come into play very soon, so he can get a fresh car out there, get that thing cleaned up, and back under full power, because it is certainly hurting right now. Back in 7th place right now, and up at the front. Not sure. Okay, there he is. I didn't see the 97 there for a second of Jancic. He is holding off a run here from Mike Moultrie. Now Nico Garcia is going to make his way into pit lane. Early pit stop maybe here from the 51 to get prepared and get back in the mix of things, as this field is starting to spread out, and that is not a good sign for anybody that is looking to kind of get back caught up with a caution, as it is a nice spread field right now and not too much battling going on. There are a couple battles here and there. Another close one back here with David Tilford just trying to run down Van Weston for 9th position. And there he is. I hear the words and the sounds of my co-commentator here, Jimmy Cover. Jimmy joining us now in the booth. And yeah, I'd say you haven't missed much for the most part. So the driver's doing another fantastic job out here on the tricky triangle, spread out here a bit. Pretty much the biggest incident early that you can consider an incident, no yellows here yet, was an incident battling for 2nd place between Mike Moultrie and the 51 of Nico Garcia, and just horrible net code shot the 51 to the outside wall coming off of 3 and had to make an early pit stop, and looks like he's got repairs and going to come back out here. But all in all, just rinse and repeat from last week. Great race last week, and so far great race here at Pocono.
Yeah, Tricky Triangle is always a place that can throw some curveballs, and I'm not surprised that the net code has come into play, as this seems to be a thing nowadays sometimes with some of these older tracks, and especially the super speedway-ish type tracks where they carry a lot of speed, and it seems to happen. But I'm going to get in there. I'll be able to see the drivers on the track here real soon. I was just over with Dylan McDonald over there with the Mars Truck Series. They put on a great show over there at IRP, so hopefully some of the fans, if they're, we're over there, we're over here now, or, Dylan also has another broadcast here this evening as well. So CRN keeping busy here, bringing live coverage here for iRacing for the leagues out there, so all the family members and friends and all that stuff can watch. So again, I'm sure Carl has already said, but just always welcome, and my friendly reminder, please hit that like and subscribe button, that thumbs up, give all the drivers the support they deserve.
Excuse me. Give me a chance to catch your breath and get a drink maybe over there as well.
Yeah, the ending of the IRP race was was crazy. You know how the short tracks go, elbows out, and everybody trying to get a win. So it was definitely a fun track and a lot of fun times watching drivers go over there and have a good time. But I got the track up now. I just need to get some of my overlays rolling here and get this thing caught up to everybody. But definitely looks like Alan Eller out front yet again here at the CORE Xfinity Series.
Yeah, another runaway here, at least in the beginning, as Moultrie gets into the wall. That's the second time he's seen the outside wall out of turn 3, and yeah, we'll be seeing IRP coming up here, race number 5 on the CORE Xfinity schedule. But right now, dealing with the exit of turn number 3 is what some of these drivers are doing. Seeing a couple rush up towards that wall, get very close to it, and like Moultrie has done a couple times right now, but it seems like he's got the car maybe a little bit nicer looking than Nico had, who is now 2 laps down. He's got fresh tires, and coming after these guys are trying to run down and get one of his laps back the old-fashioned way, but he's going to need a caution and some help to get back up into this thing, as he's moving around pretty quickly here, but already on lap number 17, getting close to the halfway point. We've seen a few guys come in and make their pit stops a little bit early here. Now Casey Phelps in the pits as well, but haven't seen too many of your top guys, and well, just going to talk about it a little bit, as here comes a very hot entry there. Like Craig Jancic, looks like Moultrie in there. Well, pretty much the field is coming in this lap, Jimmy.
Yeah, you know, you gotta get that feel in new tires. You can see, you see Nico Garcia kind of fly by on what the new tires are doing. So drivers coming down there to get some fresh sneakers on them cars, get back out there and continue this race.
So I guess I should say welcome home, Jimmy. Welcome back to Pocono. I know this is one of your favorites. It's one of my favorites here. But you know, as I mentioned in the early on in this race here, it's not exactly a favorite of a lot of drivers. I don't know if it's the fact that it's a little bit flatter of a track, if it's the fact that this thing can sometimes drive a bit like a road course out there, but it's not just your typical 2.5-mile tri-oval. It's got something unique in every section of this track.
Yeah, I mean that's why they call it the tricky triangle, because the corners are so uniquely different. They're all, one's high and banked, one's flat, the other one's, you gotta just be careful. You just lose the car, so it's a real pain even for these drivers to work a custom setup to get around here the way they want to, let alone something that's pretty standard on iRacing. We use the stock setups here, and so the drivers don't have to worry about setting up a car. They just have to drive the car to the best of their ability, and whoever can drive the best is usually the one that comes out the winner. So but yeah, it's a very tricky track. I mean, there's no doubt about it, Carl.
First pit stops are done, and Jimmy happened here on lap 18, so should be looking at least 2 pit stops for the drivers out here, but so far so good for majority of the drivers. Looks like Nico Garcia is back to 1 lap down, so still going to need one of those laps back via the lucky dog if he can get it, as that was very close, and maybe flipping the apron there for Jancic as he's trying to run down Elwood, having a really good pit stop right there, and gained a bunch of time, and I'm guessing a lot of the time he's gained on entry, as Jancic certainly sent it into that entry into pit road, because the pit road times were similar. The time in the pits maybe a little bit longer for Jancic, but it had to be all gained right there on entry.
Excuse me, I'm still gathering a few information panels so I can see what's going on here. Right now I'm just watching Craig Jancic there in the 97 doing a fantastic job.
So one more thing that I mentioned to all the viewers out there, maybe I haven't mentioned to you yet, but we do have a bit of a change here on the timing and scoring tower. We do have all the divisions represented by the colors of the numbers. So we got the gold division drivers, the silver division, and the bronze division. And then the red colored numbers are the drivers that are in the rookie division or rookie class until they are determined which division they're going to be in. So a little bit different look out there, gives the viewers out there a chance to understand, kind of who's running really against one another. And you can see where those rookies are going to be shaping up. Certainly has some good-looking rookies out there. Craig Jansen having a good early run here. And we'll take a look at Shane Therian here, who has gained a ton of spots. Once again, started back there in, so far back, I got to calculate, 21st position, as he was one of the 3 guys that did not put a time down. But lo and behold, he is up here inside the top 5, battling for 3rd place once again. Battle back here as David Topher trying to work on the 39 of Tyler Bramble. This is the battle for 8th and 9th, and sneaking into this and getting all up in it right now is Ben Weston, as he is going to look to the outside here of the 12, headed down the front stretch. And we got a 3-way battle here at the back of the top 10.
Yeah, great battle back here. Just out of curiosity, just make sure my overlays are correct. Are you on replay or are you live?
I am indeed live. I'll click it again there.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Cleared all my errors.
I will go ahead and save this as well and shoot it over to you to make sure you have the most recent overlay. So we're all looking at the same thing as, and the 12 looking at the side of the 121 right there, going through the tunnel turn. But the way the driver's doing a good job and seeing a lot of what we've seen last week, and that is good battling, but drivers, giving each other plenty of room as well. We've seen some close battles, maybe a little bit of rubbing, but certainly not what I consider, using somebody up, and something that you can certainly easily do here at Pocono, at one of these flatter tracks where you're trying to get as much as possible.
Yeah, you're trying to get everything you can, especially with the drivers, and half of them come down and pit. We're going to see them at least pit one more time, as we already seen them complete one cycle of pit stops here at Pocono. And, we're on that 23 of 50, so plenty of racing still remaining. And, it takes them almost a minute to get around here, about 53 seconds. So, yeah, and I think these drivers don't have to worry about tires too much, unless they're trying to save that a few seconds by not taking tires. But like I said, when we've seen the 51 come out and kind of just really gaining some traction on some of the drivers out there to get some laps back. It's maybe not something that these drivers want to do, but I could see somebody maybe taking 2 tires if they're not putting too much pressure on that left side.
Especially on this second stop coming up, because you figure if they make another 18 laps, it's going to be a shorter stint for that last one. So it's just, are you willing to deal with that car maybe being a little bit slipped on those first couple laps with just the right side tires, and getting that track time by doing so. And could see that by some of these guys up front. I mean, again, Elwood was out to about a 3-second lead on that first run. Jancic came out a little bit closer to him on the pit stop, was inside 1 second as they came out of the pits, but it's out to 1.5 seconds once again as Shane Therian maybe making a different strategy call here. He's coming in with the 3 to 10 on the scoring tower there, and this is a different strategy for sure. And it's at lap 25, Jimmy, so, I mean, I don't think there's a way he can make it to the end, so I'm not sure what's going on here with Therian.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Just, if you're not running up front, you always got to try something different, and maybe this is his strategy, and, come down and get some fresh tires, top it off with fuel, see if he can stretch it out for 25 laps. But we will find out here, I'm sure, quickly how much he can make up. And maybe he's just coming down to take his tires now, and we'll just need a very small splash and mash and try to stretch that thing to the end.
So we have another pit stop by Tony Bramble, and certainly some damage to the front of that 039 car. Not sure exactly what happened. I don't see any kind of issues for Bramble, and trying to see if anything popped up that I missed. I don't see anything here for the 039, but in there and getting what seems to be a decent amount of damage repaired as he is back there 2 laps down in 21st. We lost early Cody Jacobs as well. Not sure what the case was for the 81, but he is out of the race. Jeremy Guinea not even able to start this thing as he had some computer issues and got disconnected. But out front, it is all Alan Elwood out there at about 1.8 seconds, looking to go back-to-back here. And we mentioned the next one up next week is Indianapolis, and kind of sort of similar to Pocono in many aspects. And I mean, what I would consider almost kind of a sister track to Pocono. I mean, one of the corners here, turn number 2, is designed like, or actually, it's turn number 2, designed like Indianapolis. But it's, you know, they're both 2.5 miles. Obviously, Indy, the very unique 4-corner oval. But if you're seeing this kind of domination from Elwood here tonight, after you've seen it in week 1, these drivers out here need to worry about a 3-peat here from Elwood.
I mean, it's definitely in the cards there for Alan. He's been on fire here, not only on last week and again here tonight. So Craig might have something in the pocketbook there, you know, for him here tonight. It's not over yet. There's still plenty of racing left, and it could come down to pit strategy. Maybe Alan making a mistake, but you know, it's rare, so it's going to be a tough one here between a few of these drivers. I want to count out Mike Metry either, as you know, he's not too far back. He's a second back from Craig, and Craig's 2 seconds back from Alan. So it doesn't, I mean, on the track it looks like some great distance, but as far as time goes, it's really not a huge amount of time.
I mean, he's kind of keeping it in check this time around, but for the most part, the field kind of spread out, a little bit of battle here once again, and it seems like it's either for second or third that they're in the battle, or there's a battle involving David Tolford here, as he's had his hands full with one driver or another, and usually it's been Josh Van Westen back here, and it seems like maybe these guys need to share some paint schemes. He's certainly shared some paint here tonight. As 12 and 121 getting together there a little bit again off of turn number 3. Again, this is the battle for the 8th and 9th position. And you see Tyler Kokeko back there, his first race out here this season. Just kind of sitting back there and just watching, just watching all the action go on. Yeah, like a typical Canadian would do, right? Right, Jimmy? Just kind of sitting up there, just watching everything going on down there.
Talking with Tyler, he's excited to get out here and run some ovals. Tyler is usually over on the other road side of the house, and just wanted to kind of, you know, fill out his resume a little bit more with some more racing and get some ovals underneath their belt. And you know, it's one way to do it. Just get out there, you know, run the best you can. Maybe you know, learn some things from the drivers around you, or the ones that are a little bit faster than you, but enough to you can follow them around and kind of catch on, and you learn something. So that's the way to do it. Just get out there, start running, and you know, it's just a great place. I mean, CORE's always been a great spot for a lot of newer drivers to come out here and learn. And you know, they also, you know, like you said, you talked about, you know, the different classes, basically the inner divisions or whatever for the same car. So each class, you know, can have their own champion. So you never know. You know, Tyler might come away champion in whatever division he finally gets put in after he completes a certain amount of races on the oval side. So good luck to him. And so far, so good. I mean, he's sitting in P number 10. That's not too bad here with a 23 car field.
Yeah, you see Tyler is already in the divisions, in the bronze division. In that 37, but I mean, he's not one to sleep on. Even though he's in the bronze division, and he may not have that much experience on the ovals, he's got some skills, and there's a reason he's running inside the top 10. And you see him more often than not towards the back half, or just inside that top 10 with 37. Little battle here that's been going back and forth, and this is inside the top 5. Battle for 4th and 5th between Diego Remy and Daniel Wiles, as they trade a position back and forth for 4th place over the last couple of laps. And you see one really not getting away from the other, as they are about 2.3 seconds back behind the other top 3 and 3rd place Moultrie, as Remy really had to fight it off of that corner, maybe scrape the back end a little bit coming off the corner. But kept it going here, kept it straight, and that looks like another battle going right behind as Tyler Bramble getting to the inside of Bryce Rayner, lists the battle for 6th place. And Jimmy, we looks like in the background there, the 51, Nico Garcia maybe making his final pit stop, but starting to maybe turn it up here a little bit with some of these drivers and starting to make some moves as you see the track pretty spread out, and spread out on a 2.5 mile track is quite a bit of real estate in between some of these cars, but still some good battling out here.
Yeah, I mean, you have your, I guess your rivals, it's like your skill level gaps or whatever you want to call it, or maybe somebody just overdrove the tires a little bit and it's kind of where they fell, but yeah, you do have your battles throughout the track. It's a big group right there, that 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, so a lot of good racing between those drivers. Up front, you got a battle here for P2, as Mike Moultrie is looking to get into the inside there of Craig Jancic. So just another great show here up front yet again by Mike Moultrie. Definitely doing off to a better start this season than last.
Yeah, obviously finishing 2nd place last week and looking to try and at least get 2nd place again this week. He's been all over Jancic since he's caught back up to him. There's a good gap in between Jancic and Moultrie, but he was able to reel him in, and now the move to the inside, heading into turn number 3. Can Moultrie finally get this pass done and move himself back into 2nd place? Just not enough grip, but maybe for a reason he is headed off into pit lane. And Jimmy, I like that move. I like the fact that he got to the inside, he forced Jancic to run the outside line, and then he jumps right into the pits, a little bit of a short pit. He knew Jancic couldn't follow him in there because he kind of forced him to the outside there. So nice little move there by the 84, whether it was intended or not. It worked out kind of nice.
Yeah, a few drivers coming down in the pits right now. Mike Moultrie, Diego Remy, Daniel Wiles, all down in the pits. So I know, I believe, teammates.
Yeah, Wiles and Moultrie both running for American Racing, and both doing pretty well, as we mentioned. Moultrie getting the 2nd place last week, but even Wiles had a good finish inside the top 10 as well. But we are starting our 2nd round of pit stops, and already seen a few come in. We got another one, maybe another 2, as your leader's going to come into the pits, and really just got to make sure he doesn't speed, doesn't make any kind of errors there in the 5, as looks like Jancic is in behind him as well. So the top 2 drivers in. We'll see. Tyler Bramble looks like he's going to bring it in behind him. Bryce Rayner coming in, and it is a traffic jam at pit entry once again, as the 90 of Rayner needs to lock it up. Van Weston in, Tilford Kokeko in. Here comes Dan Phelps as well. Let's look to see if AJ Connor's going to stay out. No, he is going to bring it in as well. Shane Therian going to stay out. Question is, can he get by? It looks like he may be able to get by, and he could very well lead a lap here, maybe be one of the only other guys to lead a lap here tonight at Pocono. But again, he hit on lap number 24, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this strategy plays out for him. I feel like all these guys pitting right now, Jimmy, are good to go to the end. Therian, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, he's got a 6-second gap that he has to kind of maintain, and I'm sure it's going to kind of dwindle as it looks like Mike Moultrie has swapped spots with Alan O.
Yeah, Moultrie looks like maybe taking a different strategy here. Picked up about 3 seconds on pit lane by only having an 11-second pit stop, so by possibly taking 2 tires, we'll see if it works out for the 84. You see him, it's a little bit loose, a little bit sideways. They're coming through the corner until those tires kind of work in and even out a little bit, but it's enough to get him in front of Alan Elwood. What can he do with it? Can he hold him off? How long can he hold him off? As we got a couple more, John Williams and Joseph Thomas pulling into pit lane, and making that will be their final pit stop. And really, it looks like it's only Shane Therian and John Green that have yet to make their final pit stop. It's very close there between Alan Elwood as he's trying to run down the what would be the eventual leader here, Mike Moultrie, but he got very close to making contact there with, I believe that is Tony Bramble. But Shane Therian is still out there. We'll see how long he can make it. Certainly would love to see a caution right now, but those Skittles, those M&Ms, whatever it is, they are all over the track right now. And typically when it's spread out this much, caution is usually not in the cards.
Yeah, big track, it's kind of super, like I said, it's kind of super speedway-ish, but not because of the different corners. And the one driver can run away. You've seen Alan Elwood out there just kind of pulling away. So, but right now he does need to catch Moultrie. He does need to make it around him. How much is Mike Moultrie going to fight him? I'm sure he's not going to give it up to him right away as they are closing the gap here on Therian. But Therian trying to do what he can and maybe stretch this thing out and get himself, maybe a podium finish and maybe in the top 10 or top 5. It's really maybe just that call from when he came in and to when how long he can stay out. But he's definitely loose. He's probably on some just right side tires and fuel or something. But he's got a tall task with 2.5 seconds and 12 laps remaining. If Shane Therian, if Mike Moultrie and Alan Elwood get back there battling, could be what Shane really needs to maybe keep that lead here for a little bit longer.
Well, he certainly wouldn't mind a little caution brought out by these two as well. That would certainly really work out nice for the typically the 3 and he's 10 right now on the time and scoring, but we've got a pass now. For second, Alan Elwood goes the inside of Mike Moultrie, battle down into turn number 3. Can Moultrie hold him off just a little bit longer? And you see that 84 really struggling for grip on that outside. Between those two tires and between the marbles out there, it's going to be tough, but Alan Elwood going all the way down to the bottom to try and avoid any kind of side draft from the 84. Going to come back up now, and he will have the preferred line into turn number 1. Elwood back to second, and these guys are less than a second back from Therian.
Yeah, so I think that gap is really close and fast on the 10 of Shane Therian. There's a 3 on screen, but yeah, definitely I think a pretty good call there by Shane if it works out for him, if he can make it the rest of the way. He does have 11 laps remaining, but so it's like I said, it's a tall task there for the 10.
I want to send a shout out to everybody that's out there watching out here tonight, and thank you for tuning in. I know Kevin Foster is aching to get back in the car, and we should be seeing him at some point during the season, and maybe early enough to try and make a run at making the playoffs yet. So certainly don't count him out yet. Barry obviously out there tuning in, and Bearded Dragon Man. Thank you for everybody tuning in here tonight to CRN and live coverage of the CORE Xfinity Series. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, as looks like Moultrie's trying to get in touch with everything that Pocono has to offer. Close to getting into the wall, maybe even got to the wall off at turn number 1 there, trying his best, doing everything he can to try and hang with that 5, but man, it's a tough and tall task.
Yeah, Elwood's just got some speed in that 5 machine here tonight, and they're pulling out everything they can to try to get an edge on Alan Elwood, and he's just kind of laying down the law. So these drivers are going to have to hit the books and hit the tracks in the upcoming weeks if they plan on being able to catch the back bumper of that number 5.
I mean, we put it out there, everybody, what Alan Elwood said. He would hop up in the booth here if we provide snacks and adult beverages. He would join us up here. So you guys know what you need to do out there as drivers to get him out of the car, out of the lead, and off the track. But Moultrie, again, doing what he can to try and stay with the 5, but he can't over-travel too much, because you see that number 3/97 sneaking up into the picture here. Greg Jancic not too far behind the battle right here. He is 1.3 seconds back. Been running some very good times, and has been running faster times than the leader. So maybe Jancic's been holding back here a little bit. Maybe just getting the help of the draft here a little bit. But he has been running some very good laps these last couple times by, and we'll take a look at the lap times if I can bring it up here. Got that one. There we go. And We'll take a look at the top 3, and you see that last time, of course, you know, because I mentioned it, he runs just a smidge slower than Elwood, but you see him for about 4 laps in a row there. He was gaining on both Moultrie and Elwood. The gap right now to Moultrie is 0.9 seconds, 1.4 total back to Craig Jancic. So 3-car battle here at the top 3. Your podium drivers running this thing. They are all good to the end on fuel. Been a really good race here. Once again, I mean, last week was a great one. Only 1 caution out there for 80 laps at the Nashville Super Speedway. Pocono, it can get spread out like this, and it makes it easier to have it caution-free, but Jimmy, it just takes one little slip up, one little mistake by these drivers, and we got a caution, and we haven't had really any slip-ups, and we've had some good close racing, another good close battle, once again, by Remy and Wiles, as these guys seem to be glued together and been battling each other for about the last, I don't know, 45 of 43 laps.
Yeah, there's no better feeling than when you're out there. I mean, you know, when you're by yourself, it's kind of like, oh, and why am I back here? Why am I out here? But when you're racing, even if it's, you know, in the middle of the pack or the back of the pack, if you're battling, you know, one of your not teammates, but league mates out there, you're just having a good time. I mean, regardless, and, you know, at the end, you're just like, man, that was a good race. You know, let alone just being out there for, you know, 50 laps of hot laps, you know, if you're out there by yourself. But yeah, great racing throughout the field. They're doing a great, fantastic job. Just a wonderful way to start the season.
One thing that is fun for us to do, and I know a lot of the people out there in CRN Nation enjoy it as well, and that is when we crank these guys up, turn it over to a little Love to Hear It for the CORE Xfinity Series. sights and sounds here of the CORE Xfinity Series, and sights and sounds of Craig Jancic maybe brushing the wall there and possibly throwing away his chances at second place. We've got 2 laps to go here at Pocono, and it's been a great one. Alan Elwood out in the lead, only by 1.5 seconds. One little mistake, and that 5 can still be overtaken, as Moultrie and Jancic have done a great job keeping up with him on this run. The top 3 really separated from the rest of the field. Daniel Wiles has finally maybe shaken loose from Diego Remy in that 4th place battle. Remy back there in 5th. David Tilford doing a great job, and he's finally shaken free of Josh Van Westen and Bryce Rayner as he's running in 6th. Rayner and Van Westen close to doing battle here for 7th and 8th, but the time is running out. Tyler Bramble, a great job here in a good-looking paint scheme, and it reminds me of the old Sammy Swindell Channel Lock truck and his Channel Lock sprint cars. I do like the Channel Lock throwback paint scheme there. And then Tyler Kokeko, good start to his season here. Again, first race out here, and doing a good job inside of the top 10. Shane Therian had the differing pit strategy. He's doing his best, trying to get himself in the top 10, but looks like it's going to be just a little bit shy here for the number 3, when Alan Elwood has taken the white flag, heads off into turn number 2, looking for back-to-back wins here, excuse me, to start the season, and looking like he's going to do so. It's been another dominating performance. He led a good portion of the race in that race number 1, but we see 9 different leaders in that one because of the different strategies. Only a couple different leaders here tonight, but the one that led majority of it, the one that's leading to the checkered flag, Alan Elwood, win number 2 on the season. Mike Moultrie can say the same thing. 2nd place, number 2 for the 84. And then Craig Jancic making his debut here tonight, doing a great job finishing on the podium in the 3/97. Daniel Wiles, Diego Remy going to run out top 5. David Tilford, Bryce Rayner, Josh Van Westen, Tyler Bramble, and Tyler Kokeko going to round out top 10. But Jimmy, you got in here a little bit later, but like I said, you didn't miss much of the action, and I mean, it's tough. It's tough to try and catch Alan Elwood. It's going to be tough all season the way it seems, as he has certainly got a fast number 5. We've seen him last season, took down the championship, and it looks like he's clearly starting off on the right foot this season.
Yeah, it's definitely on the right foot. Looking for that 2nd championship here, and just doing a fantastic job so far. Back-to-back wins. Is definitely the driver to try to chase, and you just got to kind of either match his pace, match his strategies, or get out there and get some extra practice. I don't know, give him a flat tire, a banana peel, something. But the 5 is definitely on fire so far early here in the season, and congratulations to him, but the things that he does for his team and whatnot. So just overall, just a great race, and no matter what. But yeah, as far as missing the beginning part, you just gotta, every now and then I gotta put my head in and make sure all the other CRN broadcasts are going good, and if anybody needs help, that's where I kind of step in, just to kind of help straighten things out and whatnot. But again, all the fans out there, thanks for stopping by again here for another great race for the CORE Xfinity Series.
Get the top 3 in here for their interviews here in a bit. Want to send a thank you out there once again to everybody tuning in here tonight for another great race here in the CORE Xfinity Series. This is race number 2 of 20. Again, a little bit of a change this season and going to a playoff format. So we'll see how that shakes things up. I mean, it's one thing, with Alan Elwood racking up the wins here and looking to guarantee himself a spot in the postseason pretty quickly here, but all that pretty much gets wiped away once the playoffs start, and then eventually once the championship race comes into play as well. So we'll see how that all turns out, but we got a long way until that thing comes under play. We have to get these guys rounded up here. Looks like only got one of them here. Maybe the other one's still so busy celebrating out there, but looks like we do finally have our 3rd place in here. So I will bring in our 3rd place finisher if I can grab him here. There right, so yeah, we'll bring in our third place finisher here tonight, and that is going to be the 3/97 here of Craig Jancic. And Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our third place finisher?
Hey, Craig, this is Jimmy and Carl in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir. Loud, clear.
Hey, good to get a chance to talk to you here, and good to see you out on track. You did a fantastic job tonight, and you looked like you had a little bit of a late run there, maybe to take away P number 2, and you kind of met your match with a little bit of the outside wall. But overall, congratulations on your third place finish. I'd just like to get your side of the story and how you did out there tonight.
Yeah, man, not bad. Appreciate the good wishes there. I was hoping that 97 and 3 were going to add up to 100, but it's all right. We'll take the sim stamp number as the finishing position too. That ain't bad. Yeah, it's just, I mean, these bathtubs just don't turn for anything, and I'm not exactly used to that. I couldn't tell you the last time I loaded into an Xfinity car before this race. So it was definitely a shock to me to the degree that the right front just leaves this vehicle. I was burning 14% more right front than right rear every single time. So you know, those that know that's not gonna get the job done at a track like this. So kudos to Alan, and you know, he drove a great race. Flag to flag is good, and I was happy to have no cautions, you know, come in the way of ruining otherwise a pretty clean, pretty fair race. And then yeah, Michael had that good strategy to undercut by a lap, and he was able to hold on and defend. I thought about doing it, but I didn't think I was going to make it gas wise. So I figured I'd play it safe and lock out a podium regardless of what it looked like.
Yeah, sometimes the long game works out better in the long run. Obviously, you got to work your way up to that. You know, it's not just straight points this season like we did last season, and this season obviously we'll have the playoff series. So there's always the chance to still walk away the champion, no matter how many races that Allen wins. But he's definitely the car. The number 5 is on fire so far with 2 back-to-back wins. But you know, you go ahead and you put your stamp in early here as race number 2 as NP number 3. So, like I said, great job, great finish here tonight. But before we let you get out of here and celebrate, we'll go give you some time for any shots that you may have.
Yeah, huge thanks to you guys, CORE Racing Network. Happy to be on your showcases 2 nights a week now with participating in CSRL tomorrow night. So really excited to have 2 nights with Carl to view my vehicle on a routine basis. And thanks to everybody that supports me as well. Team Conti, teamconti.gg, where you could get a setup for this bathtub built by Nick Ottinger, should you desire. So head over to their website and check them out. SimMagic, best peripherals in the game. Free Beer and Hot Wings Morning Show, Studio 3, DSS, everybody that's a part of this from me and all the viewers out there as well. I'm looking forward to a really, really good season, and someday soon I'll figure this car out, and that'll be a good day.
Yeah, you get that bathtub under feet and off the water, and you'll be good to go. But again, like we said, congratulations here from CRN on your 3rd place finish. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Yes, sir. Take care.
That is your 3rd place finisher here tonight, the 3/97 of Craig Jancic. We'll get that all sorted out next week, and he will be the official 97, as you see on the side of the car. 2nd place here tonight is going to be the 84 of Mike Moultrie. And Mike, we've seen plenty of you up there in the top 3 the entire night, and some good battling between you and Jancic and Nico Garcia. I mean, you guys all had great battling all throughout the race, and some differing pit strategies throughout the race. Kind of seen you poke your head up there and have a chance there. And Alan, you certainly gained a bunch there at the end, and it seemed like maybe you had something for him. Maybe you had a shot. You kind of held with him there for a little bit. Is there anything you could have done differently to try and keep up with that 5?
Be faster. That's about it. I mean, he's quick. I mean, there's no way around it, you know. If I was closer to him during the run, maybe the 2 tires would have helped, but him being on 4s, I wasn't going to be able to hold him off. At some point, you know, we did kind of flatten out, but he was way too far ahead. But I got 2nd out of it, I got one spot, so I mean, I guess it worked out in my favor. It's so hard to pass here. So I figure by the time somebody catches me, the tires would be old, and hopefully these right sides would be good enough to, hold second.
Yeah, second time you're in second place, so a good start to the season either way. But I got to talk to you about those two tires. There wasn't too many guys that went for the two-tire strategy, but it was certainly out there, and it was really just how long could you hold on in those first couple laps with the car sliding out there a little bit. How much were you kind of having to work that throttle, work the steering wheel to keep that thing underneath you with those two tires in the first couple laps?
The first couple was pretty rough. I had to get used to it pretty quick, but after a couple laps, I mean, it mellowed out. It felt pretty good, good enough to hold off Craig. So, and he was quick, but I noticed earlier in the race, is you can have speed, but it's just so hard to get around somebody. You burn your stuff up trying to get around somebody. So that's what I was hoping for, and kind of worked in my favor.
So next week you guys head off to Indianapolis, and we talked about that it being kind of a little bit of a sister track here at Pocono, a little bit similar in style when it comes to the corners. Do you feel like you have a good shot at Pocono to at least make it a three-peat a second, or maybe making a shot at that number 5?
I think so. I like Indy. I'm just going to get some more practice in. I haven't been practicing like I should be. I got a lot of life stuff going on right now, so. But I will be practicing for this race. The session was my first couple laps I did. So it took a lot of learning in a short amount of time. So I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Well, worked out pretty nice. Started P3 and finishing right up here in P number 2. So congrats again on another second place here tonight. We'll see you at Indy next week. But before we let you go here tonight, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Just you guys up in the booth doing an awesome job every week. My teammate Daniel, AMR Paints, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, once again, congrats on the second place and doing some great battling out there. So I'm expecting to see a little bit more next week at Indianapolis. But go celebrate with the team. We'll see you next week.
Appreciate it. I'll see you.
That is your second place finisher here tonight, the 84 of Mike Moultrie. Last but not least, your winner here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood. Made it seem easy, but wasn't exactly easy. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and bring in our winner here, the 5 Alan Elwood.
Hey, Alan, is Jimmy Carl up in the booth? You copy?
I got you, Jimmy Carl.
Hey, I guess you did not receive your package to your garage full of beer because you're out on the track tonight, and you made a statement.
Oh, was I not supposed to bring the garage gear car out? I brought the garage gear car out, but I guess I should have just brought the actual beer out, huh?
Right, you were supposed to be in the booth drinking beer, having a good old time. Instead, you're on the track. But you did it. You went out there, and I missed the start of the race, but it didn't seem like I missed too much, as you're the dominant car yet again this week. Drivers out there trying to pull out all the stops, 2-tire stops to try to get the advantage on you. They're really trying to, make you guess and really earn your spot up there and keeping you on your toes. That's for sure. But you did a fantastic job out there, so again, congratulations on the win here tonight. But would like to get your side of the story on how everything was for you.
Yeah, it could be a little bit tough with the fuel, kind of where it aligns within the runs. I don't blame Mike one bit for trying the 2 tires. I thought about it myself, but I'm like, man, when we had to pit with how much fuel we had, it just didn't seem like it aligned to even, at least from my perspective, being out front, it didn't make sense to try it. I'm like, you're basically going to save a few seconds probably, but you got to fill up all the way, and it's going to still take like 10 seconds somewhere around there to get it all the way full. So you might as well just take 4. So I took 4, and I figured that Mike or somebody would probably get around me, and they did. And I thought he'd be a little bit farther up the road, but just goes to show, I mean, it just where everything aligned tonight, it didn't quite work out for the 2-tire stuff. I kind of wish it would have. I think it'd make it more things interesting, because I think we have a lot of good guys in this league that run clean, run well, and we try to put on the best show that we can. So yeah, it's a kind of an odd situation tonight with just, everything kind of lined up that way where it was really just 4 tires. That's all you could really do unless your caution came out. So, but I commend him for trying at least.
Yeah, he definitely tried to pull, when we were talking to him here earlier, right before you came up in the booth, he was just kind of, maybe if he was a little bit closer to it before the initial, his pit entry to take them 2 tires and fuel. And, he was able to at least get in front of you, and he was able to get a spot there on Craig Jancic. So, it worked out in his favor just a little bit, but not quite enough to overpower the 5, as you definitely were the car to beat here tonight. Definitely had the power, the speed, and I guess the accuracy and timing of this car here is, Jancic was calling it a bathtub, basically, as it's been quite a while since he's been in the Xfinity car. So look forward to seeing a lot of close battles with a lot of you drivers out here. And but next week you are off to Indianapolis, a lot of pretty similar track to Daytona, but with 4 corners, why it's 3. So how do you feel about next week?
I feel pretty good. I've usually had some good pace at Indy. It is one of those tracks like Pocono. It seems easy, but each corner at Indy is completely different than the others. You really got to hit your marks really well there to be fast and be competitive. So look forward to the challenge. I think a lot of other guys probably are. The Indy road courses has run its course for the NASCAR stuff, and I'm kind of glad to be back at the Brickyard, getting to do that. Yeah, it's a prestigious place to win, and that makes it all the more exciting to try to go do it.
Yeah, definitely a great place to run and win if you can get it. And you're definitely, your odds are in your favor as the driver to beat here so far in the CORE Xfinity Series. But again, from CRN, we want to say congratulations on your win here tonight. But before we let you get out of here, give you a little bit of time for any shouts you might have on that number 5.
Yeah, just first off, give everybody here props in the league tonight running a caution-free race. I think there was some really good racing. I hate it for my teammate Nico to get knocked out early. He had good pace. I think he would have been contended for a podium easily. He definitely had the pace to show it. But happy for Shane getting. I don't recall if he got in the top 10, but I know he was trying some different strategy to give a run there, and it didn't quite work out the way that he wanted, but I commend him for trying. And everybody at SimRep, the sponsors on the cars, and you guys here in the broadcast booth doing an excellent job every week, and everybody here in the league, and like I said, everybody on the track tonight did a great job. So looking forward to next week, see if we can duplicate it.
Well, like I said, again, congratulations, and we'll talk to you and see you at Indy next week.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
That's your winner here tonight, the 5 of Alan Elwood. Back-to-back wins for him on the season to start off the season. A pretty good way to start the season, Jimmy. Win and win. But I got to say, we've seen him win a bunch of races last season. We know he can be dominant. We know he can string together some wins here. Done so far, won 2 races, but you seen last week, never really got away. He led 62 of the 80 laps we mentioned, but never seemed to really kind of stretch out and get away, and until the very end, where he eventually won by 3 seconds. And then here tonight, he was out to a 3-second lead, which is pretty big and pretty significant here at Pocono, but as it's all told, under 2 seconds. So as much as we've seen that 5 dominant so far this year, I feel like the field may be catching up here a little bit.
When you're the fastest guy out there, and everybody's out there, they're learning off of you. Everybody's trying to, mimic, what's working for them, and then seeing if they can adapt maybe something to their style of driving that might make them quicker. So, yeah, he's the guy that everybody's learning off of, and everybody is essentially going to get faster following him around these tracks. And, he's not only winning, but he's also doing a lot of drivers a favor and teaching silently, you know what I'm saying, as you watch somebody out there with the great speed and great pace just do a fantastic job of keeping it clean. And it helps with all the other drivers out there that they had great racing as well, and they're out there having a good time. And so congratulations for everybody showing up tonight. A 23 car field is sometimes hard to get on iRacing with all the different leagues that are out there, but these drivers over here at CORE Xfinity are definitely going in the right direction, keeping these races green or limited yellows so far this season, and look forward to watching many more races to come.
Yeah, I mean, can't really ask for much more. As we said, we had 80 laps the first night, only one caution, and 50 tonight, no cautions. So a great start to the season, and a lot of respect shown and given by all the drivers amongst each other here. 50 laps on tap next week for Indianapolis, and then Kentucky will wrap up the first 4 races and the month of July. But I'm looking forward to Indy already. I mean, we may have seen that 5 out front for quite a bit, but like I said, I feel like the field is maybe just catching up here a little bit. We'll see what they have for them at Indy, and we'll see how that all plays out. And I mean, if it keeps being this clean for so long, we're gonna have to throw some comp cautions in there just to mix it up a little bit. But we won't go that far that quick. But
whoops, my finger slipped.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what happened. Yeah, but either way, thank you for everybody tuning in here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get yourself in touch with everything that CRN has to offer, and join the CRN Nation. For myself and Jimmy here at the Pocono Raceway, we'll see you at the track.